There's a drop of Guinness in a glass over there. Would you pass that over for me?
That will keep the vocal cords lubricated, will it?
I have a can of Guinness every lunchtime, see?
Do you? The glass of stout will keep her going forever.
Me.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah, well, this first song I'm going to sing you, I learnt from Reg Pratley. He used to be the landlord of the Jubilee years ago. And he was a very good old, well, he come from Leafield or something, local like.
Yeah.
He was a good old singer. I learnt this first one. And it's called Needle Cases. All I hope is now, be to sing it all right. I'm a poor wandering fellow, my name it is Jack. Those clues to me feet, shows the rag to me back. Me belly's nearly empty, me feet they are sore. Won't you buy a case of needles from Jack, that's so poor? Needle cases, won't you buy one? Won't you buy one, I'm sure? Won't you buy a case of needles from Jack, that's so poor? I once had a table all lined with good food, both for eating and drinking, and all that was good. But now I've no table, no, none of that. I'm obliged to beg a crust from the crown on my hat. Needle cases, won't you buy one? Won't you buy one, I'm sure? Won't you buy a case of needles from Jack, that's so poor? I once was a farmer and followed the plough. You must think I'm a charmer, 'cause look at me now, all tattered and torn from bottom to top. You must think that I become just a travelling rag shop. Needle cases, won't you buy one? Won't you buy one, I'm sure? Won't you buy a case of needles from Jack, that's so poor? Now since you won't buy one, I think I must leave. But to leave such good company, it does my heart grieve. But to leave such good company, if I should come back, won't you buy a case of needles from poor wandering Jack? Needle cases, won't you buy one? Won't you buy one, I'm sure? Won't you buy a case of needles from Jack, that's so poor? Needle cases. Learned that from Reg Pratley, yeah.
Yes. And did you learn some when you were at school, or did they not teach folk songs at school?
I wasn't into any of this since only when I got into the Morris dancing and folk, you know, and doing all these folk clubs and that.
Yes.
And then when Jamie formed this little group, I had to learn, you know, I learned them and went and sung them at the different folk clubs.
Yes. So when did you start singing them at the folk clubs?
I don't know, I think a few years back, I suppose now.
What's a few years back?
Yeah, we had a couple of, well, I had some up at the, well, proper jobs, you know, go up to London and that, to the folk clubs up there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, being associated with Swindon Folk Club, you know, you go and they'd always ask you to sing if you went, say, come on, give us a song. Well, like the Morris Party and the Whitsun night time, you know. What do they have at night? At Whit Monday, you always sing a song.
Yes. Have you got a favourite one?
Sorry?
Have you got a favourite one?
Well, I like them all, really, yeah.
You like them all. Who else taught you songs then?
Sorry?
Who else was it taught you songs?
Well, some of the others I got. Frank Personal lives down at Primrose down here.
Yeah.
He was a great folk singer when one of the lads first come to Bampton, way back 20, 30 years ago, I suppose now. He was a good folk singer.
Yeah.
He was about 200 songs. Oh, Janet knows Frank Personal, don't you, Janet?
Oh yes, yes.
And I learned one or two off of it. But I actually learned, I think, somehow, probably just listening to somebody. I really don't know, tell you the truth.
Yeah, absorb them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And did you always accompany yourself? Did you accompany yourself on the accordion?
Well, one of the songs I sing, which is rather a long one, we call it the Bampton something there. I'll think of it in a minute.
Yeah.
Jamie plays the melodion to it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's called the Bold Grenadier. If anybody else was singing it, you'd different. That was one of them, but I got to stop and think there where the other one from. Oh yes, I think this next one I'll sing, I think I learned that from Frank Perslow. And it's called Butter and Cheese and All. Thank you.
I'll hold your arm if you like.
Sorry?
I'll hold your arm if you like.
It's the photograph though, you see. When you holding my arm, they'd be talking.
Did we start a gossip, will we?
See how we get on with this anyway.
Okay.
I fell in love with a lovely cook, the truth I can't deny. But why a cook should be me wife, I'll tell you the reason why. For she had plenty of mince pies, plum puddings and roast beef. And when me belly was empty, she gave to me relief, she gave to me relief. I received an invitation, some supper for to take. Gladly did accept it, all for me belly's sake. And after supper was over, of the cupboard she took the keys. One pocket she crammed with butter, the other she crammed with cheese, the other she crammed with cheese. I hadn't been sitting there very long, not half an hour or more. The master of the house came home rat-tatting at the door. And I not know where to hide, up the chimney I did fly. And there I sat on a catalogue like a sweep exalted high, like a sweep exalted high. I hadn't been sitting there very long, a taking of me ease, when the fire started to melt me butter, likewise to toast me cheese. And every drop that fell below, it made the fire to flare. Master looked up the chimney and swore the old devil was there, and swore the old devil was there. They climbed up to the chimney top and poured some water down. They swilled me out to the bottom and I ran up the town. As I did run, the dogs did bark, the children loudly squall. All the old women cried, well a deal, there goes butter and cheese and all, there goes butter and cheese and all. Not too bad. Dropping in the raffle.
In the Methodist church?
Yeah,
The
any time you have a
Methodist,
teddy bear, if I win, they always know I'm going to have a teddy bear anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That's very nice. So, what birthday was it, Francis?
88.
88.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad, is it? And singing like that, that's
Got a
fantastic.
couple to go, another couple to go.
Yes, and then we have a big party.
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, I got to try and catch Anna if I can, you see.
Yes. There.
Can you see that one there, Janet, of her van?
It's just there with the lovely bouquet.
Yes.
That's when she was 90.
Yeah, we had a big party round the manor for her. Mrs. Dove will give her a big
How
party.
nice. Yeah.
Round the manor, they come from Ireland and all over.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the picture I like is the two of you from the back.
Oh God,
Yeah. Isn't that sweet?
That's a marvellous.
Isn't that?
To Tickhill in Yorkshire.
Yes.
For a Morris weekend.
Yes.
They had this. Well, Bob West, he's the lad that carries our cake anyway.
Yes. Yes.
And he organised this scout jamboree, it's something to do with the scouts, and we went up for the weekend. And we stayed with Bob West and Millie, and they lived a little way out. You know, like you might live up. I live here, like Bampton. You know.
Yeah.
And Anne and I were walking down into the village, and that was fair enough. Then when we had the Morris party up here, afterwards, Bob and that gave us that photograph.
Yeah.
We didn't even know it had been taken.
Yeah. No.
And the thing I like, especially when Anne was alive, if we was walking up towards the butcher's up there,
Yeah.
the sun behind you, you've got this lovely shadow. I used to say to her, oh, look at Tickhill on the floor. But it was just like that photograph.
Yeah. Have a sip of Guinness?
Well, and better let that get cold.
No.
This is an Irish one.
Aye. Have a bit of rhythm to it.
If I can remember it. There was an old woman from Wexford, in Wexford town did dwell. She loved her husband dearly, and another one quite as well. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay. One day she went to the doctor's, some medicine for to find. Oh doctor, give me something that'll make me old man blind. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay. He said, give him eggs and marrow bones, and make him sup them all. And it won't be so very long after that he won't see you at all. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay. She gave him eggs and marrow bones, and made him sup them all. And it wasn't so very long after that he couldn't see at all. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay. I think I'll go and drown myself, maybe that's a sin. She said, I'll come down to the water's edge and I'll have to push you in. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay. The old woman, she stood back a bit to get a longer go. The old man gently stepped aside and she went down below. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay. She swam, she swam, she swam, and she swam to come to the other brim. The old man went to a longer pole and he pushed her further in. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay. Now the moral of this story, I think that you will find, if you want to drown your old man, you must stand up close behind. With me rifle-loo-a-lary, and me rifle-loo-a-lay.
What's the folk place in London that collects everything? I can't remember.
Cecil Sharp House.
Cecil Sharp House. Now, have you sung any up there? Did you?
Well, when I went and got my gold badge for Morris dancing,
Yes.
naturally I had to sing a song.
Yes.
I don't know which one I sang, but I sang a song.
The Gold Badge of the English Folk Dance and Song Society is awarded for distinguished and unique contributions to the folk performing arts. Today we recognise the contribution of Francis Shergold, singer, musician, but most especially Morris dancer with Oxfordshire's Bampton Morris Dancers. Until recently the squire of the team, and now their honorary president. Francis Shergold moved to Bampton from Blackburn, a couple of miles away, in 1931 at the age of 12. His great-grandfather, Robert Locke, had been a Morris dancer in the nearby village of Field Azarts in the 1830s. As a young teenager, Francis watched the Morris dancers practising outside the malt shop or public house in the centre of Bampton. The squire then was the legendary William Jinky Wells, who was the 6th recipient of the Gold Badge way back in 1928. In 1935, Francis spent the morning of Whit Monday carrying the dancers' coats, and Jinky Wells said, "You've done very well this morning, you'd better have a dance this afternoon." He did, and has danced ever since, including this year at the age of 77, and that's 60 years. It was in 1939 that Francis first met Nibs Matthews, later the director of this society, when Nibs and friends danced the Headington dances with William Pimber's musician on Whit Monday in Bampton. Both Nibs and Francis have fond memories of that occasion. On leaving school, Francis was employed as a groom at Weald Manor, and after war service as a sergeant in the army, during which time he was wounded whilst on active service in Europe, he returned to Weald Manor, where he remained as head gardener until his retirement. In 1949, Francis Shergold became squire of the Morris Dancers when Jinky Wells retired. Francis continued as squire for 45 years, announcing his retirement at the team's Christmas party in 1995. Over the years, Francis has led his team of dancers at performances all over the country, including the Royal Albert Hall, the Purcell Rooms, and the Royal Festival Hall in London, and at festivals from Cornwall to Ireland, including Sidmouth, Loughborough, Dartmoor and Weybridge. In addition to his role as squire, Francis has also acted as secretary, musician, dance teacher, master of ceremonies and enthusiast. Francis has always been regarded as an excellent dancer, taking his inspiration from the late Fred Pettifer. As Francis says, a good dancer must above all have a good sense of rhythm. He must also be able to show off just a little bit and enjoy the crowd. He's dancing for the public and to enjoy their reaction. Francis Shergold is without doubt a natural leader. He's always been keen to develop everybody's potential and has been able to maintain the interest of the younger dancers when other attractions have tempted them away from the dancing. He's displayed patience when teaching the new dancers and has encouraged nearly all of the younger dancers to perform jigs. Needless to say, Francis was regarded as an excellent jig dancer, often with his brother Roy. Francis's encouragement has not been confined to the dancing. Visitors to Bampton on the spring bank holiday are made very welcome, as long as they respect the town and its traditions. And singers and musicians are invited to contribute to what has become a weekend of festivities. For Francis, the occasion for dancing, and the dancing itself, must be for the enjoyment of all concerned. Morris dancing in Bampton is very much a family occasion. Francis's mother helped with the costumes for the dancers. His brother Roy was, and occasionally still is, a dancer and fool for the team. His sister Ruth Wheeler and her husband Cyril are enthusiastic supporters, and his nephew Jamie Wheeler is now the team's principal musician. Francis's distinguished contribution could not have been possible without the support of his wife Anne. Francis Shergold is also involved in other aspects of Bampton life, especially as a bell ringer in one of the most beautiful parish churches in Oxfordshire. In recent years, Francis has enjoyed considerable pleasure from seeing his nephew Jamie develop as a musician. And the two men have been guest performers at selected festivals and clubs, particularly following the release of the cassette recording of Bampton tunes, reminiscences and Francis's singing entitled Greenie Up, issued in 1988. Visitors to Bampton on spring bank holiday cannot fail to notice that there are currently 3 teams of dancers in Bampton. Whatever the differences of the past, the 3 teams now enjoy harmonious relations, which Francis is keen to see develop, and indeed representatives of the other dancers are here for the presentation this evening. When Francis retired as squire, he handed over an extremely strong team, with over 20 dancers and musicians, the youngest still at primary school. The contrast with the late 1950s, where Francis almost single-handedly kept his team going with only 4 dancers, and when there was little interest in the dancing in Bampton itself, is obvious. The credit for building up the team to its present position of strength lies with Francis Shergold. The singer Bob Davenport, who's also here this evening, once told Martin Carthy, "If you want to know about English music, you have to go and see English people dance, so go to Bampton." Thanks to Francis Shergold's commitment to and enthusiasm for the Bampton Morris tradition, we can continue to enjoy the dancing and gain that insight into English music and dance. More importantly, the people of Bampton can themselves continue their town traditions into future generations. It gives me great pleasure to announce this award of the Gold Badge of the English Folk Dance and Song Society to Francis Shergold. I should like to invite Nids Matthews, former director of the Society, to present the award.
As I went out to walking one morning in May, I spied a young couple a-making of hay. Oh, one was a fair maid, and a beauty I declare, and the other was a soldier and a bold grenadier. And they kissed so sweet and comforting as they clung to each other. They went arming along the road like sister and brother. They went arming along the road till they came to a stream, where they both sat down together, love, to hear the nightingale sing. With many fine compliments he put his arm round her middle, and out of his knapsack he drawed his fine fiddle. And he played to her such merry tunes, made the valleys to ring. Harkee, harkee, said the fair maid, how the nightingale sings. And they kissed so sweet and comforting as they clung to each other. They went arming along the road like sister and brother. They went arming along the road till they came to a stream, where they both sat down together, love, to hear the nightingale sing. Oh, Now said the soldier, it's time to give o'er. Oh no, said the fair maid, let's have one tune more. For I do like your music and the touch of your string, and I do like to see the flowers grow and hear the nightingale sing. And they kiss so sweet and comforting as they clung to each other. They went arming along the road like sister and brother. They went arming along the road till they came to a stream, where they both sat down together, love, to hear the nightingale sing. Oh, now said the fair maid, will you marry me? Oh no, said the soldier, however can that be? For I have my own wife at home in my own country, such a pretty little woman that you ever did see. And they kissed so sweet and comforting as they clung to each other. They went arming along the road like sister and brother. They went arming along the road till they came to a stream, where they both sat down together, love, to hear the nightingale sing. Now I'm off to India for 7 long years, drinking wine and strong whisky, boys, instead of good beer. But if ever I return again, it'll be in the spring, and we'll both sit down together, love, to hear the nightingale sing. And they kissed so sweet and comforting as they clung to each other. They went arming along the road like sister and brother. They went arming along the road till they came to a stream, where they both sat down together, love, to hear the nightingale sing. I think the song is actually called The Nightingale Sing, but it's also the Bold Grenadier is another name to it as well.
That's
So
a lovely one.
I learned that from Frank Personal, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you say you were
Well,
born?
if you know where Cars and Railway Bridge is, there's some houses just before you get there. There's a couple of houses faced like that, and there's another house round behind. And I was born in the house behind that row of cottages at Blackboard Cottage. My grandmother and grandfather, they lived in Jimmy Watts's, well, the farm buildings that are all on the front as you go to Alvescott, aren't they, you know, from there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was my birthplace, not too far away. But as I said, I've been to 10 different schools in this county. I've moved around quite a lot, everywhere, yeah.
But that was because of your father's
Well,
job.
my
wasn't it?
dad was an ex-army man. he was a lad that was, well, he had quite a temper on him as well. You know, if things didn't go quite right, he'd say to the boss, right, that's it, I'm off. And we lived at Icogs, I remember this myself. We lived at Icogs in a field off the South Lee Road, you see. And you could walk straight across to the farm, across the footpath. Saw Dad coming home one day, and Mother said, I bet we'll be moving, she said. And Dad came and he said, well, Lucy, start packing. That was it. And we went off, and he was never out of work.
Right.
If my dad left today, he'd have another job by Saturday, you know what I mean? And that's what happened.
Yeah. So he's a good cowman. Yeah.
Well, in fact, yeah, it's so funny. I don't want to boast about things,
Yeah,
but
you boast. Go on.
funny, I was in the Jubilee one time, and an old boy used to come in there called Billy Honor, that my father used to work for at Cogs. But I didn't know who he was then because I hadn't seen him from when I was a kid. And Peter in there said, hello Billy, and he said, do you know, he said, this is Billy Honor. Oh, I said, my dad used to work for you at one time. What's your name then? He said, oh, Francis Shergold. And I'm going to put a swear word in here, this is honest truth. He leant against the edge of the bar like that, he said, the best bloody cowman I ever had, he said.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
You remembered.
And he remembered my dad after all those years, you know, yeah. What's brought this old folk singing back again. You know Glenys?
Yes.
Glenys, whatever her name is. I don't know her other name.
Glenys.
I know
Welsh lady.
Eh?
The Welsh lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was round the bush club one day and she said, oh, by the way, she said, oh, I go down to the old people's home, play the piano, and they have a sing-song.
Yeah.
Why don't you come down? Because I don't know how she knew us, so I'd take you down if you'd like to go. Oh, I said, I'd like to go there. I could see George Hunt, which is one of our dancers and that, you know, and Sonny Townsend.
Mm.
So I'd been going down there on a Thursday. She wasn't going today anyway, but I'd been going down there today. They had their sing-song and I sing them a couple of songs.
Yeah.
Well, what I've sung you today.
Yeah,
See, it was,
lovely.
one time there was two sides when old Jinky was the fiddler. They split up, apparently. Then he started off another side. And
How long ago was that?
well, I mean, I started when I was 15. When I was 15, that's a few years back. And this team had been going that I was with, like the Whitlocks and Pettifers and them. That was the group. I think it was when they had the split. I think it was 1926. I think they said it was.
Oh, as far back as that.
Sorry.
As far back as that.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah. Then and he formed. I suppose from 26 to when I joined, he'd formed this other sort of group, you know. And then when he come to retire, he said to me, I want you to take over, 1949 that was. He said, I'd like you to take over the team. Well, I was the youngest one in the team, but I said, well, okay, I'll just see what we can do, keep it going. But I know chaps like Reg Whitlock and the old, what I call the older ones, they didn't really like me. Well, I didn't tell them really in a way, but you know, to organising things then, I don't think they liked it. They did everything all right, I mean, no problem. There was never any rows or anything like that. I could feel the feeling, you know, that you're a youngster. But it worked out all right. Then when they got too old, they left. And well, in fact, it's a funny thing now. We got a team now that I don't know. Years ago, when Peter Allen and myself and Harry, you all socialised. All went to the pub and had a drink, you know, not just Whitson, but so these others, they don't, you see, so you don't get to know them and that. But, well, I mean, I don't go out myself a lot, but I try to go out every Friday night. I get myself a taxi, because I got the travelling discs, you know, and they pick me up at 8:30, bring me back at, well, they used to bring me back at 10:30, but they said, well, one day, why don't you ring me up when you want to go home? So if I want to go home early or whatever. And since I've had this old fall with this old leg, I just keep myself to 2 pints of beer a night. Yeah. I mean, people say, have a drink. I said, well, if you want to buy me one, you'll have to put it over the bar for next time. So, and Ruth always says to me, you won't have too much, will you? Like on my birthday and that. I said, no. Because she said, keep my mind at rest. Well, I knew it would, you know. Well, I don't want to fall over again anyway.
No.
But there we are.
Where did you fall?
Well, see.
Was it here or was it up the road?
No, Jamie went to, the Morris team went to Abingdon for their Mayor's Day.
Yeah.
For their day, you know. And anyway, Cyril rung me up and said, would I like to go? Because Sir Jamie would come back and pick his dad up and me and take me back up there, take us back up there for the evening do. So I went, I mean, I probably had about 4 pints, I suppose, altogether, right through the evening. Jamie brought us back. I was back home here at 10:30. I came in and drawn the curtains and, well, did everything you had to do. Went up to the bath, slipped in the bathroom and went down. I thought, oh, damn. Anyway, I got up from there all right and went up to bed. Now, I can't quite remember now whether I was trying to get into bed or what, but the next minute, poof, like that. Of course, I led there, and being as silly as I was, I never thought to press. I thought, oh, I don't want to bother anybody too much this time of night. So I didn't do it. Then I thought, well, I can't get into bed, and I can't move, so I pressed the button. Of course, Sharon come across and come in and picked me up. God, didn't she give me a dressing down? Said the old fool. She said, why didn't you ring that thing before? And
Yeah.
then, of course, that was the 17th of June. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Sharon your first? Is she the first person that they call then?
Well, she's the nearest one.
Yeah.
I got Sharon, Ruth, Susan, Phillips. That's the 3 telephone numbers. And it was Sharon that come round that particular night anyway. Yeah.
Who were the American Morris dancers that came to see you when you were in Hayley?
Memories, I know them, but memories gone through they were, you know. Yeah, that was very, very nice actually.
They were absolutely thrilled to meet you.
Yeah, no, and what only was nice, they did a dance for the occupants
Oh.
on the grass, on the lawn. Yeah.
That was lovely.
What was their name now? Some that been here before, you know, and that. Oh yes, they were very pleased. Well, I was pleased to see them, and so was the residents
Yeah.
and the people that owned the home said how nice it was, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Roy said you were having a lovely time with all the Filipino nurses. That's what he said.
One of them, her name was Sheila. She was a little, well, I don't know which part she came from, but she's a little small. She's a married girl with 2 children in Whitney anyway.
Yeah.
And she used to come in and say, "Morning, Grandpa." He called me Grandpa. I tell you that they couldn't do enough for you. Oh, it was a lovely home.
Was it?
Yeah. See, Whitney's got 6 rooms for Whitney Hospital.
Yeah.
So had a room of her, well, but nearly as big as this, there's a bathroom on the side and everything. Proper ensuite job, you know. But the nurses there, they couldn't do enough for you. No. Lovely they were.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here you are, right as rain. It's wonderful.
Sorry.
And now you're right as rain. It's
Well,
wonderful.
But I'll tell you what, on Sunday, I don't know what happened to me on Sunday, I'm sure, but I got up, I felt pretty good, and I walked up to church, and I thought, well, might as well go round to the cemetery, now I'm halfway up here. Do you know, I got, and I walked all the way back down here. I think I stopped once, and I don't know when I felt so well as I did last Sunday. I felt absolutely well, as though there was nothing wrong with me at all, you know.
Great.
And I said, well, thank God for that. I feel all right today.
Yeah.
Except a bit of a cough and that, but no, I just got to take things steady and that for walking about and that.